Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's day 4 to 5 of NTE global launch, and if you're watching this right now, you're already ahead of most players because you just got or are about to get not one but 2 free S-Class selectors. One from hitting around 50 pulls on the standard banner, and the second one that drops straight into your mail by May 3rd. Today we're doing a complete breakdown of the best 5-star selector choices in Neverness to Everness, exactly which standard S-Class to pick and why, so you can finish building the absolute top tier T0 and T0.5 teams you see right here on screen. I've got this fresh tier list pulled up showing the current meta. Baicang, Firefly Hyper, Chiz Hyper, Daffodil, Break, and Thief variants, Nanally Hyper, and Hathor Hyper. These are the teams dominating right now. Whether you're F2P or low spender, the right selector picks will let you complete these monster teams. Smash that like button if you just opened your mail for the second selector, drop which character you're thinking of picking in the comments, and let's dive in. This is your complete selector roadmap to dominate the meta. Quick refresher so we're all on the same page. The standard banner has 6 selectable S-Class characters: Sakiri, Daffodil, Baicang, Jueyuan, Fadia, and Hathor. These are the ones you can choose with both selectors, no limited characters like Nanally here. You get the first one after roughly 50 pulls, actually closer to 40 to 45 thanks to all the free pulls and discounts from pre-reg. The second one is the free mail reward dropping today or tomorrow. That means every single player can grab 2 of these powerhouses completely free. The key? Your choice should be based on which of those T0 teams in the image you want to finish building. Picking the right one turns good teams into meta-dominating ones. Picking wrong wastes your biggest early game advantage. Quick overview of what we're aiming for with these selectors. Looking at the image, top left, Baicang, Firefly Hyper, straight T0. This is a hyper carry setup with massive single target and AoE scorch damage. Top right, Chiz Hyper, another T0 beast, especially since Chiz is completely free via City Tycoon dailies, Daffodil, Break A2+, and below that, Daffodil, Thief A2+, T0.5 boss melting machines focus on break and sustain. Middle right, Nanally Hyper, the limited banner queen paired with perfect supports for insane follow-up damage. Hathor Hyper, strong hyper carry with great team utility. These are the teams clearing story, open world, ghost train, and early endgame the fastest right now. Your 2 selectors are the missing pieces that complete them. Let's go character by character and see exactly who to pick to slot into these teams. Starting with the #1 most recommended pick for most players, Sakiri. Sakiri is a universal buffer and crowd control queen. She gives team-wide attack buffs, groups enemies perfectly, and has insane synergy with almost every reaction, especially Blossom and Charge. Looking at the image, Sakiri slots straight into Nanally Hyper, Chiz Hyper, Daffodil teams, and even helps Baicang setups. She's the glue that makes everything hit harder and feel smoother. If you pulled Nanally on the limited banner or you're going Chiz free, Sakiri is the safest and strongest first selector. She works in every single top team on screen. Pros: insane value, low investment, helps you clear content faster today. Cons: she's not a main DPS, so if you desperately need raw damage, you might lean elsewhere. But 90% of players should grab Sakiri first. She's that good. Next up, Daffodil. She's the Chaos Break specialist and shows up in 2 of the teams on screen, Daffodil Break A2+, and Daffodil Thief A2+. If you want to melt bosses and handle tough single target content, Daffodil is your girl. She reduces break bars insanely fast, triggers Discord reactions, and pairs beautifully with Baicang or supports like Haniel. Pick Daffodil if you love boss rushing or you already have strong sub DPS. She's T0.5 on her own teams but elevates everything. Great second selector if you went Sakiri first. Now Baicang, the pure damage monster in the Baicang Firefly Hyper team at the very top. He's a hyper carry incantation DPS with cursed commands, long range, and massive scorch output. If you want that T0 Firefly team, Baicang is the centerpiece. He's more skill intensive than some options, but once you learn the rotation he carries hard, pair him with Daffodil from your other selector and Sakiri for the full T0 experience. Pick Baicang if you want the flashiest hyper carry feel right now. Jueyuan, the dual-wielding anima sub-DPS who shines in Nanally Hyper and Chiz Hyper. She regenerates her own energy, buffs Blossom reactions, groups enemies, and does great off-field damage. If you have Nanally or Chiz, Jueyuan is the perfect partner. She maxes out those stacks and makes the whole team explode during burst windows. Super F2P friendly, low field time, and she scales amazingly. Many top guides call her one of the highest priority picks alongside Sakiri. Grab her if you're building Blossom teams. Hathor, the celestial hyper carry in the Hathor Hyper team on the bottom right. She brings unique sustain damage and a very fun playstyle. She's strong in her own right and can flex into other teams, but she shines brightest when you build around her. If you love her aesthetic or want a unique main DPS that isn't as common as the others, Hathor is a solid choice. She pairs great with Sakiri or Zero for cycle filling. Finally, Fodia, the tanky sustain option. She's more defensive, great for harder content later, but right now she's lower priority compared to the damage and buffer options above. She can help in any team that needs extra survivability, but for day 1-5 meta speed, she's usually the last pick. So here's the simple priority for most players. First Selector, Sakiri, universal value, fits every top team on screen. Second Selector, Male 1, Yui 1 for Nanally Chiz, Daffodil for break teams, or Baicang for Firefly Hyper, depending on what you pulled naturally and which team you're most excited for. If you already pulled one of these naturally, use the Selector on a dupe for awakening levels or fill the gap. Don't forget your free characters, make all of this even stronger. Zero for instant cycles, Haniel for buffs, pre-reg, Chiz via Tycoon dailies, Adler for shields, Mint for early flex. Combine those with your 2 Selectors and you're running full T0 teams way faster than most players. Pro tip, don't rush to pick the second you unlock it. Do some standard pulls first, see what you get, then choose what completes the team on screen.
Really, the best way that you can utilize this is to fill in the gaps, especially if you already have a Sakiri on your account. If you want to make 2 different teams, which you are going to want to do for Phantom Train, eventually you will probably be drawn into 2 different team varieties. One is going to be Chaos Focus, right now with Daffodil as the only character that can help you do the triple Chaos reaction to help break gauges. The other team is going to be some sort of variant based around either Chiz or based around the main character in Protagonist. The Daffodil break teams are pretty self-explanatory. Daffodil can be that main carry for you if you want to do the Daffodil main carry thief team or just use her as a supporter in conjunction with Baicang there. For those Chaos teams, Daffodil is the most important character as she is the one Chaos character that exists at time of this recording, with Lacrimosa coming out in the near future. The other team will be Cosmos focused and based around Cosmos reactions. As you already have access to either the main character or Chiz as your Cosmos character, you're looking at either an anima character in the form of Jinwan, in case you also don't have access to Nanally, and most importantly, Hathor as your Lakshana character of choice, and Hathor is really that person to really draw that team together unless you want to use the Wolfman right now. So when you're looking at your 2 different Selectors, I would take a good long look at your roster and see which gaps you need to have access to fill in either that Chaos focused team or that Lakshana, Cosmos, and Anima focused team. The game is drawing you to 2 different directions right now around these 2 archetypes of teams, so use your 2 Selectors to fill in those gaps, especially if you already have Sakiri on your account. If you're putting your first team together and you're asking, Josh, which one of these 2 team setups is easier to play? I don't want to be playing, well, 9,000 RPM a minute quick swap teams on my mobile device, then I would tell you for right now to try to avoid the Chaos team. It is my favorite team right now, but it is very quick swap heavy with Baicang and Daffodil swapping in and out of combat constantly and setting up these big chain reactions of damage. It's more mechanically difficult, it's more theoretically difficult, but it is extremely satisfying to play, and it is my favorite team in the game. But if that's not something that you want to actively spend your time doing in this game, then I'm not going to tell you to go do it, even if it is, well, one of the best things to do. It's not the only best thing to do.
There you have it, your complete guide to the best S-Class Selector choices in NTE, so you can finish building those T0 top tier teams. Follow this and you'll be meta competitive by the end of the week. If this helped, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and check the pinned comment for the full NTE playlist. We're dropping more guides, Nanally teams, Chiz builds, and live updates all week. Drop in the comments right now, which Selector did you pick or are you picking? Sakiri, Baicang, Daffodil, Juyuan. Let me know and I'll reply to as many as I can. Thanks for watching, grind safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's dominate NTE together. Peace.